Alrighty, let's get going. I'm Giri, and I do drawing live here on YouTube. So yeah, today we're going to be doing some drawing of Amelia Watson, because it's Hollow Ian's anniversary, which is pretty cool. Yeah, or Hollow Ian Gen 1's anniversary, I should say. So yeah, I've never drawn Amelia before. I've drawn several of the other members, though, so I figured now would be a great time to draw Amelia for the first time. So we're going to start playing with some poses, and then we'll move into a bit more of a line art, and finally finish up with some color. Uh-oh, YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. That's unfortunate. I don't know what to do about that. Anyway, we're just going to kind of keep going and hope that whatever the stream problem is sorts itself out. I'm going to assume that that has something to do with the machine learning happening in the other room and the obscene amounts of data traffic that eats up. So let's see. I thought Amelia sitting in a park might be a kind of cute way to go. So I don't think we'd see any of the bar behind her, so we won't draw any of the bar behind her. Just a couple of these, like little sitting on leaning up on a fence or something. Kind of get our little head sketched in. Gets us. I think that probably works for a very rough pose. Very rough pose. So yeah. We'll start shaping in some of this a little more carefully now. Well, before we do, let's actually take a moment and kind of sketch maybe some background elements. I think maybe like during the sakura blossoms might be a good way to go. So let's kind of pull in some branches, stuff like that. Help frame this. Pull some in back there. Though we probably want to bring in some more overlap. So let's do that. We can maybe pull in another one up here. Put this one really close to the camera. Kind of fluff that up with stuff later when we actually decide to fill it out. We'll put another one here. Thinking on this, gold spiral wise, I think we may want to reposition some of this a little bit. Come on. There we go. Yeah. Kind of put her a little more off center. And we bring in, instead of having a branch over there, let me think. We want things to kind of culminate here. We need to do, so yeah, let's put a big branch kind of right here going across. We can have it split and go that way, up in the foreground. Which kind of gets her well framed and all that, and then we can put like a park path down here, curving off into the distance. We'll just have that run all the way off to kind of the edge of the vision range, and put the fence on it so that it goes and disappears behind the sakura. Something like that. That's close enough. Let's start getting a little more refined sketches in that will indicate Watson specifically. See, I think for this particular piece, I think I'm going to drop her overcoat and just do her in her button-up and skirt. Let's see. Well, do I want to curve the back like that, or do I want to? No, I think it's kind of have her sitting a little more upright. Give a little bit of curve to the cloth there, just so we can see its shape. See the shape of the marshmallows showing through. Everyone likes the marshmallows. All right, let's get our 3/4 chin in here a little bit. That up. Bring that to the side. There we go. And we'll start bringing in some hair shapes. She's got some nice bangs all pointing up to here. And this kind of fluffs out to the side there. And then how's the rest of this go? Kind of more... yeah, something like that, I think. It's probably good. Get a little bit of that curve around the head. Good. I think we won't do the hat today. We're doing a very casual pose, so no hat seems reasonable. We'll get a nice smile on her. A little bit of that nose. And we'll bring those eyes in. Something like that ought to do. At least to start. I want to fix up these legs. Kind of define which one's in the foreground, which one's in the background, nice and clearly. Let's see. Amelia is wearing tights, so we'll have to clean that up nicely. If we maybe get a little bit of that Zetai yokai going. That might be nice. Just a little bit. That absolute zone. Let's see. I think I sketched a little farther forward, but I think I want to bring it a little farther backwards just because I think it's a little too far forward. Oop. There. Let's try this one. There we go. And we can tuck this leg in a little further so it's a little more under her. Be braced against the bar. So it's not too intrusive. Let's get that skirt draping down past her hand. Get this hand in. There we go. I think that starts us on a pretty nice pose, all things considered. We'll get a little eyebrow in there. That eyebrow she uses to get your mom into ground pound pose. Ooh. Let's see. And of course our little shoes. If I can draw shoes today. We'll see. Sometimes. That'll do. That'll do just fine. Let's see. Yeah, her skirt is pleated, but it's also fairly stretched out on that curve shape. So we're gonna mostly be drawing things kind of fanning the pleats as they get towards the edge, I think. I.e., the pleats are going to be disappearing towards the edge there, and something like that. And kind of clean up this arm a little bit too, since we didn't really draw it in the first time in the initial sketch there. Good. A little bit of elbow and into the shoulder. I think that's pretty nice. All right, let's merge those together so we don't have to deal with that too much. We're gonna drop the opacity just a little bit and go in for a cleaner line art. Alrighty. Let's do something like that. Need to add a layer. And just gonna get these eyes all... Always nice to start with the eyes. Gives something nice to look at when people randomly drop in. You know, helps assure that or fool them into thinking I'm not totally incompetent. But we all know that's not true. Her eyes are drawn, a little bit more pupils on the lower half. I'm going for the pupils on the upper half because I think it's going to look nicer. Something like that, maybe. I don't know. We'll call that good for now. I'm fiddling and wasting too much time on that one eye. Alright, good. Let's get this other eye in. This eye's going to be a lot closer to the edge as she's looking towards us. Good. And those eyebrows. Give her a nice soft expression through them. There we go. Good. Get the side of that chin. Something like that ought to do. She has a very pointy chin, so we'll try and get that through. Comes up nicely into our jawline. We are going to kind of give a little bit of a break there, though, just to imply the connection point, or leave that a little more implied than we might otherwise. Let's get a little bit of this neck in here. Oh, really quiet day. I was kind of hoping that announcing the stream on Twitter early might bring on some people, but no. Okay. It's okay. We will stream regardless. Even if we stream for no one. Let's see. Let's get a little bit of that tie in here. Hers is a very short tie. We messed that up a little bit. Much better. Well, not quite. Yeah, that's a bit better. We'll leave it empty for now, because we don't really need to line art that part. Okay. Let's see. Let's play with its hair a little bit. Something like that. And we'll pull this through there, like that. See this chunk here, all her fangs. Just kind of pull that together and split it open in a couple little places. So there's a little bit more texture to it. There we go. Very nice. I think technically this little chunk of hair probably should cut in front of her face, but I don't feel like doing that today. I think we have better face framing going for the hair almost completely behind her. Like that, maybe? No, that's not quite right. That'll do. You don't actually need this line at all, though. Oh, man. Well, drawing for a non-audience always kind of feels bad, but oh well. It's not bad. I don't like this part of the hair right here. We're gonna adjust that. Make that a little more Amelia feeling. It felt like it ballooned out a little bit too much. There we go. I do want to get her hairpin in there. So, as well as we need to get the signs of an ear in here. There we go. That's a good enough start for that hairpin. Now, let's see. Her shirt is pretty much just your standard white button up. Nothing remarkable there. So we're gonna just get that drawn in. Let's get a little bit of that shoulder. A little bit of a seam there for that. I don't actually know if her shirt is short or long sleeve, because I basically, every time I've seen her, it's been with the little overcoat on, so I'm going short sleeve because it's summer and long sleeves would be insufferable. It's still technically summer. Don't at me. Or do. I don't care. Alright, let's get our little wrist in here. This is going to be a bit of a tricky one because it's more loosely wrapped on the thing, so yeah, we're not going to be seeing most of the fingers, I don't think. That hand feels really small compared to everything else. Like, that is way too small. Like, that should be, like, there. Maybe not quite that big. More like that. Okay. There we go. And that kind of implies that there's a little bit more hand wrapping behind there, I think. I'm gonna throw in a new layer here real quick so we can get some of these. Where is it? It's that one. Just stretch it out. I'm just gonna snap that down like that so we can move it into place, kind of get our perspective things all lined up. Something like that. And we'll duplicate that again. And just keep repeating. So those all kind of just run off into the distance. And we're going to need a couple more. Or down on the ground. They don't have to be perfect. They should be pretty close. It's kind of my feel. Like that ought to do. And one more. There we go. Okay. So let's merge all of that together. And one more. Merge down. There we go. Excellent. We're gonna need to put a couple like those vertical lines and indicate those little bars that connect them. Let's actually do that on a separate layer so we can hide parts as need be, or erase parts back out as need be, like that. Get that little weld line there. And then I'm actually just going to duplicate that and place it several times. That. Ooh. No, not like that. It should be here. And smaller. There we go. Duplicate that again. And smaller. Smaller. Something in that range. And a couple more times. Beyond there, outlines aren't going to matter. So we're not going to worry about them. Not for this piece, because we're trying to go fast. We're going speed painting style, so we just wanted to get everything in the rough perspective zone. So I don't even know who I'm talking to at this point. Okay. Let's get back to sketching in Amelia here. Let's get her let's jump to the waistband. Which is a pretty wide, pretty high waistband. It's a fun style. And then we can get the bum. And then have the skirt just kind of fly out here past the hand. Let's see, how do we want to do this? I think I want to keep that skirt short enough that we can get the absolute zone showing. I'm going to hide the fencing there for now while we get the rest of Amelia sketched. Or line arted, as it were. Something like that. Let's get a nice big shadow lot section in here. Maybe not quite. Maybe wider and shorter. Help indicate where things are really folding over. Something like that ought to get the implication of our pleats through. I like that. It's got nice shapes and stuff. All right, let's get our knees in. We'll come back in a little bit and get our tights on those knees. Something like that. Do that. Get a little curve here for this knee. Just a little exaggerated, but we're going to do just a tiny tuck for our shin. And I think we actually went a little overboard on the calf. So we're going to even that out just a little bit. And we got a nice squeeze here. So let's indicate that and calf. Ooh, we almost critical failed and did not draw any of the line art for up here. So let's get a little bulge right as it's popping out of the waistband, right above the waistband. And we'll just a few little, what do you call it? Kind of pull lines as it collects, as the fabric collects itself. We can also indicate the flow of the fabric with the button line. Oh man, I think I may have messed up big time here. Something's completely wrong, completely borked with my perspective. Well, so much for this being a good piece. One of the most important spots, perspective's ruined, and I don't really know what I'm doing there. I haven't drawn nice white shirts enough, I guess. Okay, anyways, we're just gonna move on. We don't have enough time to really dig in and solve that particular problem today, so we're not. Okay, good enough. Don't care. Let's merge those. We needed to get a line art done. We got a line art done. Let me just lasso this on up. So so we can get rid of all the metal bits showing, the line art for the railing showing through. There we go. Something like that. It's not like it really matters with no one watching. We're just gonna dance like someone's watching. Alright, let's see. Let's get our Sakura branches out here. The big one there. Something like that. And what was the other one I wanted to put? I think we'll put kind of a foreground one here. Have it cross the full foreground like that. And have it fill kind of this void here a little bit. Good enough. Let's start work on color. Because that line art ain't getting better. Not with this much time. Okay. Just gonna jump right into hair. I think that is too yellow. Yep. The fact that I've had several people jump in and they haven't even stayed for the 30 seconds that it takes to count as an official view basically has doomed this video completely. Which sucks. Got a little bit of the blue in there. Alright, we got what, like a kind of... Yeah, that's probably about right for the skirt. Such soft colors she has. Yeah, every time I try and do line art, I seem to bork it. I don't know why I even try with line art anymore. I mean, I'd love to have good line art, but my line art is just always awful. Like, when I don't do line art, my painting can come out pretty good. I can even fake line art after the fact and have them come out pretty good. But when I try and do line art up front, just garbage every time. Anyway. We'll get our skin tones in. We're going to go a little bit darker than her actual skin tones so that we can kind of dapple it with light. Dapple her with light after the fact. Let's see. Get a little bit of that tie in there. Let's see, her pleated skirt's got a few kind of whatever you call them, plaid going on. Yeah. So we'll get that in there. There's some white in that plaid, so let's get some of that. I mean, I guess the upside is I will have a short that I can upload and maybe actually get some viewers on the short. Though that does make me wonder if I'm just going to get 0 views on my lives. Maybe I should just record these as shorts the first time. Might be a better way to go. Just going to bump to the brightest yellow in the world so we can put a little bit of kind of dappling highlights on the shirt. There we go. Good, good. Let's get some background color. Just gonna switch to a nice texture brush here. We can do this quickly. I'm gonna start with, I should start with kind of a general color block, I think. Let's do that. I'm just going to get that in there. That's going to make for a great general color block. Going to get nice blue-gray for our path here. Just quickly marking some of this railing here with that same blue-gray, so we're not using too many different colors. And we'll kind of add a few as we get that weren't line arted in as we get further out. We'll get some nice bright highlights on this railing, so it helps look a little more metallic. As well as some nice darks in that blue-gray to also, again, help it look a little more metallic. Let that kind of run off into the distance nice and quick. Good. Let's see about maybe getting just some soft greens to kind of help accompany the ground there more than anything. We'll probably break it up a little bit with some more of those pinks. As, you know, there's like clusters of petals and stuff falling onto the ground. But this will help us kind of set a horizon line and stuff like that. Good. There we go. Nice broken up greens. That'll help. Let's get our nice browns in there. For these branches. And we need to get a bit more jaggediness. Just little kind of separations, and we'll bring leaves and whatnot in a little bit. Once we have these branches feeling very tree branch. Good. And let's grab our pink here. Let's actually do a slightly darker pink. And we're just going to and just add a whole bunch of these little strokes here, as it'll help feel like the branch has petals on it and whatnot. Let's get a little bit brighter. By that I mean a lot brighter, so we can add a little bit more variety to those petals. Just put a few out in the field there. There we go. I'm feeling like this is getting that kind of a soccer, the how would I describe it? The essence of a Sakura thing. I want to get a little bit of bloomed spots, I think, kind of as light is piercing through. So we're gonna put a few kind of extended little zones kind of around where the light just kind of breaks through the branches. We're gonna then duplicate that and filter, blur, Gaussian blur on that. Give that a nice hefty Gaussian blur, and give that a little bit of a yellow tone, something like that. Right about there. Just so that feels a little more light breaking through sort of deal. On our Amelia color layer, I'm going to add a quick overlay. I'm going to grab our really bright yellow. And we can just kind of dapple her clothing a little bit. That'll help her feel a little more set in the scene. There we go. Let's start getting a little bit of shadows and stuff in there as well. At some point, forgot the shoe. Let me get that. Oof. Oh, someone dropped in and immediately took off. Again. It's all good, though. We're just doing a quick speed painting. It's fine. Anyway, shadows. Let's do blues. Pretty dark ones. I'm just going to throw this on another layer. And we can kind of... Ooh, that's background stuff. So we actually don't want that layer. We want this layer. So we can go kind of lob a shadow in underneath her. I probably should have put the railing on its own layer, if I'm completely honest. It would have helped, I think. But I will also give the railing just a little bit of shadow down the whole length. And then I want to grab some of my bright yellows. And we're just going to kind of dapple the path as well. And some of our blues, and we are going to kind of just help the dappling, help sell that dappling effect with a bit of shadow. Kind of put a little branch through there. That's in shadow. This is in shadow. This is in shadow. Let's get a little bit darker shadow for right underneath her. And kind of in the background behind her. All that can be a bit more shadowed. Something like that. Cool. We've kind of overwritten this railing a lot, so I'm gonna clean it up and bring it back a little bit. So it just feels a little crisper. There we go. Alright, that's not too bad. A little bit of that cleaned up. I'm going to throw a layer here in the foreground, up above our line arts, where we can grab this, put a nice big branch in right here. Maybe add a couple little splits and whatnot. And then we'll grab some of our pinks and kind of put some petals on it. The exact placement really doesn't matter, even though it's so close to the camera. It does not have to be precise at all here. We are going to blur the heck out of this being up in the foreground. First let's darken it a little bit. No. Let's just filter, blur, Gaussian blur. That's a decent start. That gets the impression that there's something up in the foreground, kind of blocking some of the view. Though that might be a bit heavy. Maybe we should actually get a little more branch here so it holds together a little bit better when we blur it. Get a little more variety in that pink. There we go. Now let's blur it. And let's do about that. That looks good. And kind of come in here with a little tiny bit of white. Just add a little bit of places where the petals are catching some light. Excellent. That gives us a nice foreground. Okay, now then, we've gotten our foreground, our background, and some rough colors on Amelia. Let's get in there and make her face look cute. Shall we? Not that I'm actually capable of doing such. I really should stop being so pessimistic. Just every time I paint, it's just one of those things where sometimes it feels like it starts going wrong, and then that freight train just keeps going to not good image town. And it doesn't feel like you can stop it once it gets going. It's got a lot more color in those eyes, I think. Okay, I said a lot more color in those eyes. There we go. Really bring that blue in. I think I am going to drop... Oop, that's not what I want. Where's our liner? That's our liner. I'm going to drop a layer above the liner so I can do the eyes nicely. Or nicer. Can't guarantee if that's going to work, but we can try. I'd love to be able to close the thing so I can't see how many viewers there are, but then I couldn't see chat if there actually were viewers, which means I'd lose viewers just as fast as I got them. It'd really help with that pessimism if I couldn't see how many viewers there were. You know, I'm not picky. Drawing for one viewer makes me super happy. Drawing for 8's better, but you know, I'm happy just as long as anyone's watching. And it really sucks at 0. It really sucks at 0. Let's get some nice blush in there. We're gonna start getting some variety in how our cheeks and stuff look. Let's get our big soft brush for that. Let's get a little bit of lip color as well, while we have our big soft brush. Actually, probably need to go pinker, but we're going to start with that. And then go pinker. Okay. For our eyes here, I want to go a little more in this range so we can get more saturated. Okay. And I don't know what's happened to me. I was doing great on some of these before I took a break, and now I can't like speed paint at all. And it's obnoxious, mate. Though I do think some of it is me getting inside my own head. You know, I see that 0 view count and it makes me like, wow, why do I even bother? A little bit of that redness around the eyes, whereas there's a little bit more blood there and whatnot. Get a little bit of the blue here. I have some of these darker yellows. Oh man, my will to keep going just is dying rapidly on this painting. I don't feel like it's coming along very well. There's no audience. And this does not feel like a good painting day. Get a little bit of that kind of. Okay, you know what? I have reached frustration levels that are... The painting will not get better because I am too frustrated about how bad this painting is going. I am at the point where, were I not live streaming, I would literally start this whole thing over. Just drop of the hat, done. No questions asked. Which is not great. I mean, it's not the worst thing. Okay, no, this is honestly probably one of the worst things I've ever painted live. I actually... Yeah, actually this is... the framing and stuff's not bad, but the actual execution is abysmal. It is wildly below my standard quality. And I hate it. I hate everything about this painting. I am so frustrated with it. Alright. I'm calling that good. I am not happy with this painting at all. At all. Like, and I know that there is no amount of pushing more into what I am doing right now that is going to make me happy. This is fundamentally the base design that this painting was done on was bad. And as a result, it is no amount of rendering is going to make the painting good. So I'm calling it there. This was a fun stream, I guess. Sure, why not? Literally no one showed up. I got to talk to no one. So yeah.